Hi! Long time no see again. This video is coming after a bit longer of a break than I anticipated because I have been going through it, to be quite honest with you. That being said, if I look a little worse for wear, it's because I feel that way. And speaking of which, I actually had another piece that I was working on that I intended to post before this. However, I crashed and burned pretty hard while working on that one, so that one's been on the back burner for a little bit now. I would like to get back to it eventually, but for now, the piece I'm going to show today, I did for something that the art community likes to call Mermay. And this year, I actually decided to take a piece that I drew for Mermay back in 2018 and redraw that, and when I show that piece, it's going to probably become pretty obvious why I wanted to redraw it, because it's,
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
interesting, to say the least. I will say, the whole, the tail, coming out of the ink and kind of, looking like a splatter, that, I kind of ate with that. I'm not gonna lie. Although, spoiler alert, I didn't reuse that idea this time around, just because I had a very specific look I wanted to go for. And I will definitely say I think I achieved my idea a lot better than I did the first time around. There was some finagling and some me experimenting with certain things that I decided I didn't want to keep because I didn't like how they looked as much, but I think the overall piece for this definitely came out a lot better. I guess that's what 7 years of experience is gonna do for you, though. Or at least that's the hope, right? I did stick with a more graphic look to this piece, kind of like what I had before, where it's just black and white. So definitely a lot less detailed than what I typically do. However, I really like the look of art like this, and I really enjoy doing it sometimes, and I think especially in a certain situation like this, with the idea that I was going for, the look lends itself to that really well. And the thought I had, this was kind of supposed to be when I originally did it, it was kind of like a Bendy and the Ink Machine kind of thing, where this it's supposed to be this perfect creation, and instead this weird off looking monster kind of thing comes out of the ink instead, which I wouldn't say she's a monster. She just doesn't look quite right. She's imperfect, so to say. And also maybe kind of evil. If the expression I gave her in the original art piece is anything to go by, because she looks a little crazy. I did go with something a little more subtle, I guess, this time around. She's very cocky looking still, I would say. And probably still not very nice. I'm pretty sure what 17-year-old me was trying to go for was kind of an Alice from Bendy and the Ink Machine kind of thing, but as a mermaid. So now this doesn't look exactly like the characters from Bendy and the Ink Machine. She does, they, a lot of the time they'll have their hair is even ink and it's dripping into their face and everything. I didn't do that with her. Just, it wasn't the look I really wanted to go for. This is it's Bendy and the Ink Machine adjacent, more so than I don't know what would the copying it. I guess it's inspired, but it's not supposed to exactly be the same thing. How about that? By the way, I'm realizing as I'm watching this back that for some reason my microphone quality just decides it wants to randomly take a shit, and it sounds like I'm talking through a tin can. I don't know what the hell, I don't know if something weird's going on with my microphone. I have not changed any settings or anything, so it's very strange. I apologize if it's kind of annoying. It's irritating to me that it's happening, but I have had this microphone for a few years, so maybe it's just time for me to get another microphone. I don't know. Now, with that unfortunate disclaimer out of the way, this piece is definitely not going to take as long, this video is not going to be as long as usual, because this piece was a lot faster for me to do. It's funny because I got burnt out for a month, didn't do any art for a long time, and then I cranked this out in a few days. But again, that's because this piece was a lot faster for me to do than usually because I kept it so much more simple. The elapsed time for this piece was like 30 minutes, which, to be fair, it actually took me a lot longer than that. It takes me, in reality, probably like 30 minutes just to do, like, for this piece. It took probably like 30 minutes just to do the sketch. And then probably like an hour or so to do the line art. And then the coloring actually took me probably about an hour overall as well, even though it's very simple coloring because, like I said before, there was some stuff I was messing around with. I was trying to play around with, like, showing, like, it's like maybe some like white outlines, oh my gosh, in the hair and like on the tail and stuff, so that those details didn't get lost when I did the coloring, but I didn't like how it looked. So there's a little bit of screwing around that happens just to see like what I want to do and how I want things to look. Even then, though, this piece took a lot less time than usual because, like, on my regular pieces, the sketch takes about an hour, the outline takes about an hour, the base colors probably take, I don't know, not an hour, but they take a little while to do. And then I usually do a lot of like shading and detail work, so that usually takes a long time. Definitely, I think overall most of my pieces, between me being a slow artist and me also, like, I have a full-time job, I don't have, you know, as much free time as I would like to be able to work on stuff like this. A piece typically takes me about a month. This piece took me a few days, but again, that's just because it's so much more simple and I was a lot more motivated than I have been to work on it recently. But yeah, I even actually, like, because typically what I'll do, because my pieces usually take so long, and a lot of the time, like, the way I do line art, it's kind of boring to watch, so I won't leave it in. And I even thought about doing that with this piece as well, but even with me including the line art, this video, the total amount of time is about 24 minutes. So I figured I'd keep it in just to make the video a little longer so it's not like over like that, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, the coloring really, like, it ultimately was so quick for me, it would be like the sketch and then poof, color, and that would be it. So you're getting a bit of a look into my outline process this time. I, again, don't usually keep it in because it just typically takes me so long to do. Like, line art is a good few days long process in itself for me a lot of the time because I'm just very slow at it. Again, my pieces are usually a bit more complicated than this one was, and I mean, this is a full body too, so you would think it would have taken me a little longer than it did, but I think just because I didn't get super into like details or anything, that really helped. And to be fair, also, the whole lower half for body is just a tail, so it's definitely a lot easier to draw that than to draw like separate legs, and like I didn't draw any clothes or anything like that. So, but yeah, I actually am very proud of how this piece came out. I think maybe in the future, I don't know if I'm gonna do any more stuff for Mermaid this year, to be honest with you, just because I did my one piece, it was fun, but I want to move on to other things, right? Because I have a lot of other ideas and things too. Maybe I'll go back to the other piece that I stopped working on abruptly soon as well. But I have some other, because I tried to challenge myself in 2018 and tried to draw a mermaid like every day for the month of May. And I think I got 4 days in before I didn't want to do it anymore. So that speaks to, I don't know, I get bored quickly. I want to like move on to different things. I don't have the most patience in the world when it comes to stuff like that, where I just want to draw the same thing over and over and over again. But I do have a couple other pieces from back then that somehow, I don't know what happened. Like this, like, I definitely have improved since some of the other pieces, but this piece that I'm showing today, I think maybe just because I couldn't execute the idea as well as I would have liked to, but this piece is like particularly bad. Oh man. I mean, they can't all be winners, right? And at least the version I did this time came out a whole lot better, I think. Like, I really think, like, putting them side by side, the difference is, like, night and day, which, again, 7 years of experience that I didn't have before. So hey, let this be a lesson to you. If you are not good at drawing yet, or maybe you're at the level that I was at before, not that that's a bad thing, but you're eventually, like, if you don't think it looks good, or you are not quite happy with how it came out, let this be a lesson to you. If you keep at it, your tastes will change, your skills will develop, and you'll be able to make something much better, probably in even less than 7 years time. So anyway, I got off on a tangent. I have some other pieces from 2018, and it's really interesting to look back at them because I can see, like, where the style I have now is definitely starting to develop, and I've improved a lot since then, so it could actually be fun. Maybe I don't even wait until May. Maybe I just go back and redraw some of them at some point, because I think it could be very interesting to see how my skill has developed and how much better, I guess, for lack of a better term, I can make them look than they did before. But there's one too where, like, it's even, like, done in a side profile, and like I said, I can really, like, see the similarities between, like, that one and, like, my style now, and it's very interesting to see, for sure, because I definitely went through like a identity crisis with my art for a while, where I didn't know what my style, what I wanted it to be, because I like realistic art, but I also like really like graphic, like cartoony art, but I knew I didn't want to go too far in either direction, so it was definitely kind of difficult to figure out where I wanted that balance to be. And I think I've definitely kind of found where I want it to be, for sure. And it's been very satisfying to just see how my art style has been able to develop. Now, the one thing I really need to work on is backgrounds. I have never been good at backgrounds. I kind of shy away from drawing them because I'm not good at them. That is something that, for sure, like, this piece didn't have a background. I kind of took advantage of the more simplistic, more graphic style to just not include one, but a lot of the time my backgrounds are just like a solid color or a gradient, and I know there's a lot of artists that do that. However, I would like to be able to do more pieces in the future that include a background. So I hate having to draw stuff to learn how to draw it, but which I think is something that a lot of artists can relate to, but that is for sure something I need to work on. Maybe I'll make a video out of it, maybe I won't. It could be kind of funny for you guys to watch me fail. But yeah, I think I've done pretty much all the yapping I can do about this piece at this point, so I think I will actually probably cut out now and just let you guys watch the rest of this. Let you watch me screw around with some things and figuring out how I want this to look. But if you want to just listen to the music I've got playing in this video, if you want to mute and listen to your own music or whatever, cool, great. I think I am going to come back at the end though and kind of do like a comparison between them, just because I think it could be interesting and kind of funny to see just the difference the last 7 years has made in terms of my art. But yeah, I will cut out for now. Alright, so now the time lapse is done. I think why this one looks so goofy to me is because, like I said, I was experimenting with different styles a bit more back then, and I've come to find, like, this, I don't think I execute this style that well. I don't think it looks as good as it could. I definitely, like I said before, I think it's really night and day how much better the new version looks to this one. I had some cool concepts here, I just don't think I executed them as well. And then here is the new version, which, again, some finagling was done to kind of figure out how I wanted it to look, and in the end I just decided to keep it more simple, and I really do like just how much better, like, I think the ink splatters look better. I think just what I was trying to do came through more clearly, and just overall it looks better, in my opinion. I think it looks a lot more confident as well, because I can really tell, like, with the first one that I had an idea there, but I really didn't know what I was doing in terms of, like, executing it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I will see you in the next one. Hopefully, actually a little bit sooner between videos for once. But I'm not gonna make any promises, to be quite honest with you, because this is, again, it's a side thing. It's kind of just, I get in my moods where I want to do it, and then there's periods of time where I don't. It just is what it is. But regardless, whenever the next one may come, I will see you then. Bye-bye!